We also have conferencing. Conferencing as a written. Hapana. Hapo, Alex, hapo nandanganya. Conferencing na written inaingilia wapi? Conference is more of a meeting, oral communication, okay? We also said number 7, we have something we know like report. Report and what? Proposal, report and proposals. Then we also have forms and questionnaire, forms and questionnaire, forms and questionnaire. We also have what? Forms and questionnaire. We have advertisement and publicity. Advertisement and publicity. Advertisement and publicity. Advertisement and publicity. Publicity. Then lastly, we have what? Advertisement and publicity. So those are the means in which written communication can take. Those are the means in which written communication can take. What does examiner want you to know about this written communication? So examiner anataka, you know the type or the kind of written communication, then you know the features of that written communication. Then know the features of that written communication. Ama characteristic, okay? Yeah, like if you are talking about email, we know that email is what? It is done through internet. It is done through internet. And it is fast communication which require short messages, okay? Short messages. Then you know advantage and disadvantage of each. Hiyo itakuwa imeisha. If you understand that, hakuna kitu itakunini kwa hii written communication. So that's all. Nani naitwa nani? Matilda, ulifanya cut? Sijaona nini yako. Na nimeona nani hapa? Anaitwa nani? Lucy. Where is she? Yeah? Ameenda. Nani hajakuja? Naitwa nani? Yeye ameenda. Haizuru. So let's start with letters. Let's start with letters. So letters, when we are talking about letters, letters as a form of written communication, letters, letters, what you should know about letters is just a message that's expressed through writing, maybe for official, and the purpose of that letter in a written communication. Then you should also understand the quality of the format of which a letter can take. We say there are two formats in which a business letter can take, okay? Number one, we have format in which a business letter can take. Number one, we have hiyo ni characteristic. Format is two. Moja ni gani? Blocked format. We have format in which a business letter can take. Format in which a business letter can take. We have blocked format. And then we have, we have fully blocked, and then we have semi-blocked. So if you are talking about fully blocked, it's where now every information starts from the left side margin, including even the sender's address. So sender's address iko hapo. Then you jump one line, you come receiver's address iko hapo. Then you jump one line, you come to salutation. You jump one line, you come to naitwa nini? Salutation. After salutation tuko na hiyo reference. So everything starts from the left side. That's what refers blocked format, fully blocked format. But if it's a semi, the only difference here is that the sender address moved to the left side margin. It starts from the center hapa ikienda on the left side margin. That's the difference between semi-blocked and fully blocked format. Semi-blocked and fully blocked format. Then we had the characteristic of this business letter. Characteristic of this or essential part of a business letter. Essential part of a business letter. Like if you check in your question, kulikuwa na swali 2016, uliulizwa give 10 parts of a business letter. So what could you have said? Number 1, business letter have, yes, date. It has a date. Number 2, salutation. Salutation. Number 3, yes, name and address. Name and address. Number 4, yes, nini? Yes, reference. Reference ndio unasema heading, okay? Reference inaandikwanga ref, ama usichaiona barua imeandikwa hapo ref, alafu hiyo ref ndio imeandaliwa. So that's what we refer as. Then number 5 we have body. Number 6 we have complementary flow, complementary clause. Complementary clause. Number 7 we have what? Yes, signature. Signature. Number 8, initial of the sender. Initial of the sender. Of the sender. Initial of the sender. Then number 9, we have a inaitwanga what? A complementary clause. A complementary clause. Enclosure kama itakuwa inaenda kwa watu wengine, you find that some people enclosure kama itakuwa inaenda kwa watu wengine, itakuwa umepata imeandikwa CC to this and this and this and this. So those are the part of a business letter. Those are the 10 part of a business letter. So in most cases unaweza ulizwa give 10. So kama umeambiwa 10 hapa kwa name and address, utaandika address of the receiver, then another point uandike address of the sender, zinafika 10. Tuko pamoja? Yeah. So those are the part of a business letter. So we have now a quality of a good business letter, a quality of a good business letter. So in general, whenever you ask about quality of a good business letter, we have a quality of a good effective writing, a quality of a good written communication, quality of a good written communication. We have quality of a good written communication, good written communication, written communication. And that good written communication is characterized by 7 C's. It is characterized by 7 C's. 7 C's, whereby the written communication should be correct. Okay. Number 2, it should be clear. Number 3, it should be complete. Number 4, it should be considerable. Number 5, it should be concise. Number 6 should be concrete. Number 7 should be, yes, number 7 ni gani ya mwisho? Yeah, courtesy. So these are just general for any written communication, ukiuliza quality of a good written communication, these now are the general. For all effective written communication, warita letter, ikuwe report, ikuwe questionnaire, ikuwe nini, it should all consider all this. Okay? Yeah, like if you check on these qualities of a good written communication, it's just repeating the same thing. It should be clear and complete, concise. Okay, it should be correct. It should be courteous and sincere, follow a certain flow. So these are just what you have to consider whenever you are asked about any form of written communication. Tuko pamoja? Tuko pamoja? Yeah, kama tuko pamoja tuendelee, okay? Yeah, kama tuko pamoja tuendelee. Kama tuko pamoja tuendelee. Then type of business letter. Type of business letter. Type of business letter. Here we said under type of business letter, it will depend with the purpose of that business letter. Is that okay? So if it's a letter for quotation, it will called what? Quotation letter. Common letter quotation is called quotation letter. And what's the purpose of quotation letter? Or who write quotation letter? Quotation, nani huwa anafanya quotation? Yes? Sema, usiogope, sema. Yes? Yeah, the buyer to the seller. Quotation letter is always written the buyer to the seller to inquire about if he has that things, okay? Then the seller will answer with which letter? No, quotation letter is always written from the supplier to the buyer. So buyer anaanza kumwandikia inaitwa enquiry letter. So enquiry letter is written from the buyer to the seller. Then the seller will answer with quotation letter. The seller will answer with the quotation letter. Then the buyer, after having the quotation, he will place what? Order letter. He will place an order letter. Order letter. He will place an 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 order letter. Then the seller will answer, will also have this letter known as acknowledgement. Acknowledgements. Akishapata, he must acknowledge. Acknowledgement letter. Acknowledgement letter to confirm that he got the order. It can be from the seller or it can be from the buyer. Tuko sawa? Yeah, and if the buyer is not satisfied, he write another letter to the seller known as complaint letter. Complaint. So hapa unacheza tu within the complaint letter. Complaint letter. Complaint letter. You'll answer the buyer with a letter of complaint, and then the seller also can write another letter known as reply to the complaint letter. Reply to the complaint letter. Reply to the complaint letter. So those are the kind of the business letter we can have. We can also have something known as maybe the buyer bought thing on credit and he has not yet paid. Yeah, we can also have the debt collection letter. Debt collection letter. Debt collection letter. I can also have this debt collection letter. Debt collection letter. I can also have those debt collection letter. Debt collection letter as thing. Then we also have now the social. These are now business letter. You can also have some social letter in a business. Social letter in a business whereby you can have something to do with. It can have something to do with congratulation letter, invitation letter, announcement letter, condolence letter. So can also have social letter. Can also have social letters, social business letter, social letter in a business. In a business whereby you can have number one, we can have letter of expressing gratitude. Letter of expressing gratitude. Expressing gratitude. Then we can also have congratulation letter. Congratulation letter. Can also have what? Announce invitation letter. Invitation letter. Can also have something known as announcement letter. Announcement letter. And lastly, can have condolence letter. Can have condolence letter. Then we have circulars. So circulars are a type of letters, but they carry the same message and they are supplied to so many people, okay? Circulars is just a type of letter, but it has the same messages, but it's supplied to so many people, okay? Yeah, kama uko na sherehe. Yeah, like last weekend we had a wedding celebration, okay? So the kind of the letter you write maybe to the client of this school so that they attend, it's just the same message, but you make it personal. Okay? I hereby invite you as a guest of honor to my celebration or to the celebration of the company. To the celebration of the company, what? Celebration of the company. Maybe company kama imemaliza miaka kadhaa, we want to celebrate. So you invite the client, but then you are inviting more than 1,000 clients, but you are using personal expression in writing such letter. Everyone unamadress kama the guest of the honor for that celebration or for that event or for the business. So that's the kind of the circular we are talking about, okay? It's just a kind of a letter, but whenever you are writing it, it's always served majority of the people, the client of a company, but it is written in personal form. Mwandiki kama tunawaalika pana na kualika wewe kama mgeni mheshimiwa kwa hafla ya maswala haya na haya, okay? So that's kind of circular you are talking about. To write it using a personal language. Then you supply to so many different people. So wewe ukikuja, you will come knowing that I'm the guest of the owner. Huyu akikuja atakuja akijua I'm the guest of the owner. Hata akikuja anaonyeshwa kaa hapa. He will just assume that this where the guest are sitting. Is that okay? Yeah, hatajua kama mwingine pia ameambiwa hivyo. But he just feels that he's very important person. So that's the word. That's why it is different from letters. Tuko pamoja. So that is circulars. So you're saying circulars letter are used for communicating a message to hundreds, sometimes even thousands of people. Circulars may be sent to a variety of reasons. Number one, to introduce a product, to advertise special offer, to inform a new policy, etc. Make circular personal by using you, not all of you. And remember that only one person will read each individual letter. So this has bearing in mind the language you use. The language you use must also be important. The language you use, okay? The language you use. Ile kizungulisoma hiyo kidogo, it can help you to express that circulars. Usitumie zile nini. In business letter, it should be something concise and something clear. Usitumie zile vocabulary zenye ulikuwa unajifunza unaenda kwa dictionary una cram. No. Business letter should be clear and concise, okay? Then accuracy. Then it should be accurate in all the matter, okay? So don't use those vocabulary that someone will not understand. Ama describing someone as if now you have an interest with that person. That one will not work in business. Just use the clear word. That you know. I'm a simple English, okay? Use simple English so that you pass the message across. You pass the message and everyone will understand it. Tuko pamoja? Yeah. So purpose of business letter, nimekuambia the purpose depend with the type of a business letter. So ukiambiwa purpose, give 5 purpose. You can give, like number 1, you can say a business letter can be written for. Yes, tuanzie huko nyuma. A purpose of a business letter. Kila mtu aseme moja moja tukisonga mbele. Yes, a business letter can be written for which purpose? Yes? You had to present a problem. Yes, next. To place an order. Yes. To? You had to provide information. Yes. To request payment. Yes. To express gratitude. Okay. Yeah, those are the kind of the purpose we can write a business letter, and so many others, and so many others, and so many others. So hapo, you are given an example of an employment letter. You are given an example of employment letter. I gave this as an assignment, na kuna watu wachache tu niliona hiyo nini yao. Wale walikuwa class. I gave this as an assignment. You go, you write employment letter, then you write with your CV. You write with your CV. You go, you write an employment letter. Kama itakuwa na hizo nini zote zenye tumesema za hizo nini zote, part zote za business letter. So that's what examiner atakuwa interested kuangalia. Kama iko na salutation, hiyo ni 1 mark, okay? Kama iko na body imearrangiwa vizuri, hiyo ni 1 mark, okay? Kama iko na complementary clause, by the way, complementary clause, what's complementary clause? Yes? Yeah, you was faithful or you was sincere. That is what we refer as complementary clause. So that part also give you 1 mark, okay? Dear sir or madam, hiyo tunaita nini? Salutation. Hiyo inakupatia 1 mark, okay? Then kama kuna signature umeweka, hiyo ni 1 mark. Initial of the sender, another mark. So that's what they are looking at whenever they are marking. Hata ukiambiwa andike memorandum, they are looking at those part of a memorandum. Is that okay? So that was a business letter. That was a business letter. So far tushaangalia hii na tushaangalia hii. Let's check on memorandum also. Let's check on memorandum. Memorandum. So memorandum, we said, just a communication that occur. That's a communication that occur within members of organization, but it's a written communication, but it's applied within the member of organization, whereby you can have, maybe we have different departments, and you want to have a meeting. So you supply them with a memo. In most cases, memo can be put on a notice board, or sometimes it can does what? It can just be presented to each person or each department. Is that okay? Yeah. So that's a memo. So purpose of a memo, number 1 is conveying information, instruction, or requirement. Number 2, putting forward suggestion or idea for consideration. Number 3, asking for assistance or cooperation. Number 4, clarifying something. Number 5, to confirm oral communication. And then lastly, to outline the policy decision. So structure of a memo. But I realized that last time walileta hii memo. So this round wanaweza leta kitu ingine. Last time waliuliza mambo ya memorandum, writing about memorandum, and then so this round wanaweza leta kitu ingine kama maybe notice ama business letter, but you harm yourself with everything, okay? Wakirudia the same, you pass. Tuko pamoja? If they happen to repeat, at least you have an idea of what it is. Hapo iko sawa? Yeah, I cannot assure you that nini itakuja, because even me, I don't know. But last time, mambo ya memo iliulizwa hapo, na pa kapeana 10 marks. Na ilikuwa sijui mara ya 3 wakirudia from 2020. Wamekuwa wakirudia memo. Jua they realize the student don't know anything about memo. So from 2020 ilikuwa write a memo. Hapo katikati wakuja wakapeana characteristic of a memo. Tena last time wameleta mambo ya memo. So harm yourself clear, harm yourself with everything, okay? Yeah. So structure of a memo, number one, we are saying memo does not have a letterhead. Memo does not have a letterhead. So number one, it does not have a letterhead. Does not have a letterhead. Number two, does not have any address. Does not have any address. Does not have any address. Number three, it should be brief and formal. 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 Number four. Memo does not have salutation. It does not have salutation. Does not have salutation. Does not have salutation. Then lastly, it usually has an initial of the sender. Initials of the sender. It usually have an initial of the sender. It usually have an initial of the sender. So illustration of a memo. Illustration of a memo. We have from to, then date. We also have ref. We also have subject now, subject of that memo. Then body. It can be just two lines. Then lastly, we have their initial. We have their initial. We have their initial. We have their initial of the sender. So that's the format of a memo. Whenever you are asked to write a memo, it should just be something short and concise. Short and concise. Short and concise. So that's all about memo. Yes. Yeah, sometime inaweza kuwa hapa ref, inaweza kuwa labda meeting, okay? Then subject hapo unakuja una quote the meeting for this and this because it cannot be meeting for the entire. Tuko sawa? Yeah, you can maybe here subject ilikuwa you want to see finance department, okay? Then hapo kwa subject now utaandika specifically who do you want to know about finance department. Tuko pamoja? Yeah. You just generalize what you want to talk about. Then in subject is now where you will specify. Okay? In subject is where you will specify. Tuko pamoja? Yes, any other question about memo? Kwa sababu tunatoka hapo. Sio sawa. Kwa memo ni tofauti, lakini ukienda kwa letter, sometimes it sounds as the same, okay? Yeah, ukienda kwa letters, sometimes it sounds as... This one I'm just doing you for the purpose of you getting marks, okay? Because kila kitu ta indicate hapa, examiner atakuwa nakupatia 1 mark. So by the heading hapa itakuwa memo, then you write the part of the memo. Hiyo pia itakupatia 1 marks. Is that okay? Hapo heading ya hiyo kitu itaanza na jina memo. Hapo tuko sawa? Itaanza na jina memo, then you write there from to, then reference, then subject, body. Ref utaandika kama ni meeting. Is that okay? Kwa subject utaandika meeting for junior staff. Tuko sawa? Tuko sawa? Kama umeelewa ni sawa. Swali lingine? Hatuko sawa? Employment letter. reference sasa unaandika reference, utaandika I'm applying the job for this and this position ama yeah. So hiyo sio memo. Employment letter sio memo, that's part of a letter. Is that okay? Hiyo ni letter. So kwa reference so utaandika why you are writing that letter. Kwa hiyo reference is why you are writing that letter. Na hiyo letter na hiyo reference bado sasa ndio utakuja sasa uandike sasa the body after writing that reference. But in letters, reference and subject they always refer to the same thing in letters. Sawa? Tuko sawa? It's a letter but not a memo. A memo tumesema it is used internally. Internal an organization. Ukishaingia na employment letter unaandika kaa bado hujaingia mahali. Tuko sawa? Wewe uko ndani ndio unataka either utakuwa recruited ama utakuwa recruited in that organization. Tuko pamoja? Yeah? Subject wa? Sijui nieleze aje. Tumesema employment letter, tumesema iko na hizi parts of letter. Tumesema number 1 unaanzanga na address, okay? Then kwa hiyo hapo address utaandika date, okay? Then number 3 unaandika nini? Salutation. Number 4 unaandika nini? Is it reference ama subject? Yes? Ni reference ama subject? Utaandika reference ama subject. Hii nimekuambia kwa letters inamaanisha the same. Reference and subject kwa letter inamaanisha the same. Hapo tuko sawa? But hapa unafaa ukuje uklarify. But hapa pia reference juwezi indicate employment, then hapo sasa uandike subject employment for this and this. Unafaa kuindicate kwa nini moja. Tuko pamoja? Bado? Si ndio hiyo sasa subject ndio hiyo bado inamaanisha umeona hapo hakuna reference, kuna tu subject. Yeah, hii iliandikwa by mistake hapo. But you write there just the normal way you know, okay? Isikusumbue sana, write the normal way you know. Abora what you make sure, any written communication, make sure that hizo parts zinaapia hapo. All those parts they are appear and there hizo parts utaenda kulingana na max umepewa. Tuko pamoja? Yeah. So let's check on email. Although hapo kulikuwa na statement mingi about email. We had so many issue about email hapo, of which they are also important you know them, okay? So email on organizations, it goes some processes, but at your stage, what you should know about email, ushike tu hizo the form of an email, then email netumia kuandika short messages, okay? Short messages that are required to be answered quickly. Is that okay? To be displayed quickly. And then what you are supposed to know about email, mostly advantage and disadvantage. Sawa? Advantage and disadvantage. Hii mambo ya sorting, filing, whatever, hizo zote ziko tu, but at your stage watu wanafanya marketing and hiyo ni huko chini, hao ndio wanafaa kujua hizi mambo. Watu wanafanya HR ama watu wanafanya mambo ya naitwa office juu whatever, hao ndio wanafaa kuendorse hizo stage za email. Inafaa kwenda stage gani, inakuja number 1 inafaa kuwa sorted. Receiving an email iko na stage ngapi? 7. Then sending or dispatching an email also it has also 7 stages. Na hiyo tunafunzwa watu wa NEC sana wale wana deal na mambo ya NEC about front office requirement. Hizo ni part wanafaa wajue about email. Is that okay? Hizo stage, how email comes into organization, how the organization should store the email, and how email should be dispatched to the relevant department, and then wafuatilie pia how that relevant department will reply that email, and then coming back, then the email has to be indicated somewhere before it is dispatched to the customer, before it is dispatched to the customer. All those stages, especially kwa tunafanya mambo ya front office, au ndio wanafaa kuwa conversant na hizo mambo ya sorting email, filing an email, storing an email, then dispatching an email. That's okay? But wewe kwa wakati huu, just understand the email, then you understand that the advantage and disadvantage of an email to an organization. Tuko pamoja? Yeah, that's what I can request you for now. That's what I can request you for now. Nafikiria kwa hizo notes zako uko na both advantage and disadvantage. Uko nazo? Uliziona? Ama hata notes wewe hauna? Lakini uko na hiyo copy. So kuna hapa advantage and disadvantage of email. Like number one advantage of email is, yes, it is, yes, time saving, yes. Another one, it is short and brief. Yeah, it can say that. Another one we can say, it eliminates paperwork, eliminate paperwork, eliminate paperwork. Another one, yeah, it can also provide a useful written memory. Mi nikienda kwa email yangu naweza angalia vitu nilikuwa na chat 2013, 2014 huko, because it has been preserved there. No one enters into that account, okay? Yeah, it keeps that written memory, to keep that written memory. Then disadvantages as usual. Yeah, it is costly, makes be expensive. Another one. Yeah, staff reluctant to use it. Staff reluctant to use it. Another one. Yeah, it needs training staff to use it. It needs training. It's not that everyone is conversant with email, okay? Yeah, hata we labda uko hapa na una email account. So if you go to an organization, you'll also be required to have that an account. So lazima uambiwe email account inafunguliwa hivi, and then we use this email to this and this and this. Is that okay? So it needs some training. It needs some training. Another one. It can lead to overload of information. Yeah, I can receive that Django email. Can receive those Django email that can lead to overload of information. Overload of information. Overload of information. So that's all about email. That's all about email. Then let's talk about notice also. Let's talk about notice also. Let's talk about notice. Notice. What is notice? Yes, what is notice? Notice. Oh, shaisikia notice. Have you ever seen a notice somewhere? Yes. What's a notice? Ama, what's the difference between a notice and a memo? What's the difference between a notice and a memo? They both serve in organizations. What's the difference between notice and a memo? Tuanzie mbele ama nyuma? Yes, acha tuanzie mbele. What's the difference between a memo and a notice? Days. Yeah, today I can remember your name very well, okay? Days. Yes? Next, saidia jirani tafadhali. A notice, that's what? Yes, Matilda. Kwako ni Matilda ama Matilda? Yes, Imelda, not Matilda, Imelda. I used to have a friend who is called Matilda, so don't worry. I can only remember some names. Yes. What's the difference between a notice and a memo? Yes. To create awareness. What about a memo? Alex, saidia jirani. Yes. The internally, that's the different. Notice can be used for both internal and external purposes, but memo is strictly for internal purposes. Memo haiwezi enda nje. Memo is strictly for internal purposes. Memo is strictly for internal purposes. So internal information about the staff, we use a memo, but a notice can be used both internal and external, both internal and external. Ndio maana ukienda huko nje utasikia an organization needs some workers. Wameandika hapo jina notice, okay? Ukuja hapa pia utapata hiyo jina notice. It's both for internal and external. Hapo tuko sawa? That's the only difference between a memo and a notice. So you say a notice is a method used to keep the workforce as a whole up to date with what is going on in organization. So notice may relate to vacancies, holidays, arrangement, union matter, or social event, and likely to be displayed on a notice board. So format of a notice board, you start with the word notice. So format of a notice. Unaanzanga na jina notice. So you start with the word notice. Then after notice, can write there date. After date, contact name, we must include whoever is giving that name, contact name or who they should contact. Then address if possible. Then kwapo kuna objective of you writing that notice, objective. So kama an employment utaandika hapo kwa objective, it is employment. Then you write to whom it has to go. Salutation. So dear sir stroke madam. Then you write there. You write there the body of the notice. Then you write there complimentary clause. Then initial of the sender, and then contact number, whom they can reach. So that's the name of the notice, that the format of a notice. Start with the notice, then date, kuna hapo address of the one who is writing that, objective of you, salutation, then you come to the body, complimentary clause, initial, and all those. But kama ni notice for a meeting, it must include also agenda of that meeting. Kama ni notice ya meeting, lazima include what? An agenda. Is that okay? Kama ni meeting unataka watu wakutane, lazima uweke hapo pia agenda. Tuko pamoja? Yeah. Then advantages of using this notice. Number 1, it contains diagram as well as written information. Number 2, written record of the message is kept. Number 3, they can be created in such a way they can attract attention. Then employees tend to look at notice board in their break, so it is easy for them to read notice. Okay. Then disadvantages. Number 1, the message isn't clear across, as not a lot of detailed information can be contained in a notice. Okay. Ya zingine zinafinywanga, mtu anajaribu kuandika story lakini notice inafaa kuwa something clear. Okay, something clear. So a lot of information is not contained on it. Number 2, they can be easily be taken down to be read by an employee or covered by another notice. It can take time to distribute notice around the organization. Hata nje tu lazima uhae watu wa kwenda wakibandika hizo notice. That okay? Then lastly, if they don't look attractive, people don't tend to look at them. Ya kama we leo ni notice gani umepita hapo kwa njia, hizo zimeandikwa sijui mganga kutoka wapi. So kama iangalie, kama if it is not attractive, even hata kuangalia hivi utaangalia, utaona tu asini karatasi tu imebandikwa hapo, then you pass. Okay, so such things, all those are the disadvantage of a notice. Disadvantage of a notice. Hapo tuko salama? Yeah. A question? Kama ni a meeting, if it is for meeting, you must include agenda for that meeting. Is that okay? The list of items that we are going to discuss in that meeting. Kama notice ya meeting. So this notice, maswali mingi utapata kwa ulingana na hii notice, you will be asked about notice of a meeting. Notice of a meeting. So hapa it is combined. Unaweza ulizwa hapa kwa written communication, but in most questions that is kwa hiyo examination yako, you will be asked about notice of a meeting. Okay? Ama what should be contained in a notice of a meeting. Hizo ndio maswali utaulizwa. So they are part of this. Then agenda zikuwe hapo mwisho. Tuko pamoja? Yeah, then we have advertisement and publicity. Advertisement and publicity. So advertisement is just a way of creating awareness of a certain product or existence of that product. Okay? Yeah. Advertisement has 3 types. Number 1, we have print advertisement. Hizo unaonanga kwa njia wameweka hapo nini kubwa, hizo zinaitwa print advertisement. Then number 2, we have electronic communication, kama hizi za website and whatever, all those we call them electronic advertisement. Then we have now hizi za social media zenye zimetokea juzi hizi za Facebook and not every company goes to advertise itself on a Facebook or a WhatsApp or an Instagram or Twitter. Okay? Yeah, unless your company iko na account huko, that's when it can go and advertise there. Is that okay? Yeah, so those are the 3 types of advertisement. We have number 1, print advertisement. Hizo kuwekwa hapa nje. Then we have website. Website hizo zinaitwa electronic advertisement. And lastly, we have social media advertisement. Social media advertisement. Then tuko na kapati kanaitwa publicity material. What is publicity material? What is publicity material? Yes, from behind, please. What is publicity? What is publicity material? Yes? Or what is the difference between advertisement and publicity material? Yes? Ushaikuwa unatembea asubuhi unakuja kazi? Have you ever walked somewhere when you are coming kwa job asubuhi ama unakuja shule asubuhi? Yeah? Napata kuna watu wanapeana utu tukaratasi tudogo, especially watu wa mganga hawa. Yeah, kadogo hako unapewa ndio hii. Ama kama kuna kampuni ya kutengeneza keki imetokea mahali, They can also be giving that. That's what we refer as a publicity material, okay? So it is different from advertisement. Is that okay? So that's what we refer as publicity material, because it contains the name of that person, the conduct of that business, and then the product that they deal with, okay? Yeah, now advertisement itakuwa display somewhere so that you can see. And this publicity material is aimed at personal level. It is not aimed at everyone. It is aimed at a certain, it's just targeting a certain group of people, okay? Ya kama ni wamama tu anapewa, wewe mwanaume ukipita utapewa. Takuwa tu mama akipita anaambiwa, can you read this? Can you read this? Can you read this? That okay? That's the publicity we are talking about, okay? Yeah, some even goes to the extent of giving even the part of the product, okay? Ushaitembea wakwambia tunatengeneza keki, unaweza onja. Yeah, that's what we also refer as publicity material. Ama unaenda kwa supermarket, you buy a certain product, then inside that product kunako karatasi kadogo, it has some information about the company and whatever. That's also what we are referring as publicity material. Tuko pamoja? Yeah, some even goes to the extent of giving you a CD, okay? A CD, I mean that squeezy hizo ziko kweli. I mean that player, record player, not the other CD. Ama ile hiyo CD-ROM, okay? Yeah, I mean that. Some even goes to the extent of offering that. But during our days, we used to be given what we refer as compact. Halafu kuna hii ya computer ilikuwa inajiita aje? Sio flash disk, ni ya juzi. Floppy disk. Unajua floppy disk? Do you know floppy disk? It used to be 25 MB. Ikakitu kadogo. Kwani nyinyi have you not learned computer? Hamjasoma computer? Oh, bado. That's why. But during our day hii hata ishatoka, hii floppy disk ishatoka, okay? Kalikuwa kadogo, kana contain 25 MB. So 25 MB, so ulikuwa unaweka hapo, una save vitu zako hapo. Ni kama tu cassette, kama tu ile radio cassette. Lakini sasa nayo ni kadogo tu ka computer. So you were supposed to save there. But this one has been replaced with the flash disk, okay? Yeah, this one has been replaced with flash disk. So that's how publicity material look, or that's how it operates. Tuko pamoja? Yeah, then we have forms, so you can be able to differentiate between advertisement and publicity material, okay? By now you can be able to differentiate. If whenever you are told to give an example how the publicity material work, you can be able to explain. Tuko pamoja? Yeah. Then we have forms and questionnaire. So whenever we're talking about forms, when you are admitted here in KCE, kuna form ambayo you are required to fill. That form is what we are talking about. Ama kama hukujaza, ulijaziwa, ukienda mahali, hata hospitali, kuna form they will need information about you. Is that okay? Yeah. Are you a female or a male? You just answer there. Okay? So do you come regularly or you just come once? You just answer there. So that's the kind of the forms we are talking about, okay? Yeah, forms is just a already set questionnaire, and in forms, the researcher of the information already know what he wants. It's just you to come and confirm. It's just you to come and confirm. But the most of the information that is required here, the researcher know about it, okay? Yeah, it's just you to come and confirm. Are you a female? You say yes, okay? Because maybe that forms are meant for female only. So if he goes the extent of asking you such question, you already know that you are a female. Is that okay? The one answering that form is a female. So the information that they want from that, they already know it. So what does the examiner want you to know about this form? So why is it in a written communication? He wants to know if you can, you know, the guideline of coming up with a good form, okay? With a good form, because sometimes hausomi tu inaishia hapa, hapana. You run your own organization. Utakuwa na kampuni yako. How do you design that form? That's why you are learning it, okay? That's why you are learning it. You are going to be an accountant. So most of the things they will be referring to you because you are a professional, because you are a professional. How do we design this? So kuuliza usianze kumama ati hiyo si kusoma. Tafadhali. Don't mama, because it is here you have to learn how to come up with a good design of a form. Is that okay? Yeah, how to come up with a good design of a good form. Na mimi hapa nilikupatia 14, lakini for the purpose of examination, just try and have at least 5. At least 5. So like number 1, the function and reference number of the form should be clearly shown at the top, e.g. application form, ama kama ni registration form, ama kama ni invitation form, the function itakuwa at the top, okay? Then number 2, the name of the organization should appear at the top of it. Yeah, the name of the organization you are working with must appear at the top of that form, must appear at the top of that form. Another one, the overall design should be uncomplicated and function, not forbidding the eye of the user or the form filler. The form filler, another one, wording should be clear and concise. Wording should be clear and concise. What is your name? What is your name? Then you give there some space so that someone can answer, okay? How old are you? How old are you? Then another one, sufficient room should be allowed for the information requested. Instructions should be clear and near the top, e.g. complete in black pen only. Instructions should be clear and near the top, and near the top. By the way, kuna kazi nyingine za serikali, if you apply, kuna mahali wamekuandikia fill in capital letter only. That's one of the disqualification they use. If you did not understand that instruction, you've just filled, they will just disqualify you because you do not follow the instruction. Is that okay? So it is good. It is good. Kama CASNEB, maybe you are going to do it for the first time. Is that okay? Maybe for the first time, or maybe you have ever done it. They have there an instruction, number 1, hata ukiangalia kwa hiyo timetable yenye umetumiwa hapo, number 1, don't write there your name, don't indicate there your name. Hakuna mahali jina yako inaapia, mpaka utasoma umalize section 6. You only use that registration number yenye utakuwa umepewa. So that's another instruction that is there in that form or in that questionnaire. Is that okay? So that such instruction should be clear and near at the top, and should be in capital, and should be in capital. Don't write here your name. Utapatana nayo kama hujafika huko, ama kama ushaiona utapatana nayo uione mzuri sana. Is that okay? Yeah, let's go on. Next, the form should allow minimum information to be installed, e.g. yes or no. Another one, information should be presented logically. Important functions should be highlighted. Important functions should be highlighted. The form must meet the requirement of the typewritten entry. Any part of the report intended for completion should only kept clearly separate and marked, e.g. for official use only. For official use only. In your form, hiyo lazima pia ufanye nini? Uindicate hapo. Then another one, form to be used in factory or outdoor should be made from suitable study paper. Related items should be grouped together on the form and arranged in a logical sequence so that user can identify quickly. Then the form should be monitored from time to time. So ikishapata information, if you have already gotten your information as a student, we put it in a computer, we can also be able to disperse that form, okay? Yeah, you can be able to disperse that form. So that's all about, that's what examiner want you to know about this kind of forms as a form of a written communication. Tuko pamoja? Then questionnaire, then questionnaire, then questionnaire. So questionnaire also is just a formalized set of questions to obtain information from respondent. So you can use that form to ask question, or you can use that oral question to get information from the respondent. So we have two types of questionnaire. We have two types of questionnaire. Number one, we have postal questionnaire. We have postal questionnaire. We have postal questionnaire whereby the researcher will not be present, but will just send you the question for you to fill, okay? Yeah, like just a class-level examination. Utaletewa tu karatasi ya maswali, then you answer those questions. That one we call it postal questionnaire. But now where now the researcher is present asking you, we call it structured interview. Structured interview. He asks question and then you answer orally, okay? So where the researcher is not present, that one we call it postal questionnaire. But where the researcher is present, we call it structured interview. Structured interview. So those are the two types of, those are the two forms in which questionnaire can take. Then we have two types of questionnaire. We have closed-end questionnaire and we have open-end questionnaire. So closed-end, umepewa majibu ya kujibu hapo, okay? Are you a female or a male? Yes or no? That's the closed-end, okay? You just answer yes or I am a female or I am a male. Then you have open-end. Are you a female? You can explain, yes, I'm a female, I'm called this, from this and this. So you can explain or you can extend whatever you want to answer. That's what we refer as open-end questionnaire. The respondent is given time to give his own information. Hajawekewa hapo kwa bracket as you choose between this. Closed-end, it is in bracket, you choose between what the researcher need you to answer. Amekupatia already the answers to answer. So you cannot escape that to answer your own thing. Is that okay? It's just like examination for is it primary or secondary? Whereby you are given choices. Is it primary or secondary? Yeah, primary, KCSE. KCSE, you are given choices. So in a closed, in open end, ni kama asa ise, umepewa composition, okay? Umepewa composition. Write about my school, write about my school. So it's upon you to come up with the creative thinking about whatever you have been given. So in closed end, in open end, we also were given that space to do what? To answer whatever the way you think yourself. Is that okay? So those are the two types of questionnaire. Please remember, form in which questionnaire can take can be postal or structured. Postal, researcher is not present. Structured, researcher is present. Then type of questionnaire we have to corner closed end, where the researcher has given you choices to choose. Then we have the open end, where you come up with your own answers, Then advantages of this questionnaire. Number one, researcher is able to conduct large number and quickly, especially in postal questionnaire. Number two, questionnaire relatively quick and easy to create. Then number three, questionnaire is easy to standardize. It's easy to standardize. Then another one, questionnaire can be used to explore potential embarrassing areas such as sexual harassment, okay? Yeah, ama in criminal matter, whenever you want information about a certain criminal incident, you can use questionnaire to get that information. Hapo tuko sawa? Then disadvantage of this questionnaire, number one, the format of questionnaire design make it difficult for researcher to examine complex issues and opinion. Number two, with the postal questionnaire, the researcher can never be certain the person to whom question is sent actually filled it. Number three, where the researcher is not present, it is always difficult to know whether or not the respondent has understood the question. Number 5, the researcher has to hope the question asked remain the same to all respondents as they do to the researcher. Like now, if I ask you a question, where do you come from? Yes? Tanijibu aje? Where do you come from? If I ask you a question, where do you come from? Tuanzie nyuma. Yes, where do you come from? That's the question. Yes, from behind. Tuanze hapo. Where do you come from? You come from Moranga, okay? Yes, next. If you ask a question, where do you come from? Utajibu aje? Baringo, yes. Yeah? Sikuulizi ushago, we nijibu tu venye umeelewa. Is that okay? Nijibu tu venye umeelewa. Sikuulizi lazima uniambie unatoka ushago wapi. If I ask you a question, where do you come from? Utaniambia you come from Nairobi, yes. Meru, okay. Kericho, okay. So if I ask such question, some of you will refer maybe where you are born, okay? But others will refer where they are living now, currently. Is that okay? That's why we are saying in a questionnaire, the researcher just has to hope that the person answering the question will understand the same as he understood. Is that okay? Yeah, he just has to hope, and this is hope, but that's why it is a disadvantage. That's why it is a disadvantage. Another one, the respondent tend to be very low for postal questionnaire. Then the problem of self-selecting somebody is apparent in questionnaire. Then quality of a good questionnaire. Number 1, a well-designed questionnaire meet the researcher objective. What's the researcher objective? Yes, Imelda. What's the researcher objective? Alex, what's the research objective? Wewe ukiset questionnaire hapo kama mimi sasa ni set cut. My objective will be to assess the student and to hope that they understand, they will answer the entire question, okay? They will answer the entire question. Hakutakuwa na question itabaki because everything we have already covered. Hapo tuko sawa? Yeah, so that the research objective is to have the question all answered, okay? Yeah, so a good questionnaire should have a well-designed questionnaire to meet research objective. Number 2, it should obtain the most complete and accurate information. Then it should be simple in nature. It should be simple in nature. So how do you design a questionnaire? Number 1, decide the information required. Number 2, define the target respondent. Number 3, choose the methods of the reaching your target respondent. Number 4, decide on question content. Then develop the question wording. Put question into a meaningful order and format. Then physically appearance of the question. You can review that and then pilot the question yourself. Pilot the question yourself. Pilot how now you will go to the field to do what? To answer, to have those questions answered. Is that okay? Yeah, so you can have like 5 minutes. I'm coming back to check on reports and proposal. Tumalizia hapo. Is that okay? Yeah, have like 5 minutes a break. I'm coming back. Yeah. Bado hii written communication mrefu sio rahisi. You want to kufanya nini? Unaenda kazi? Oh, you can just go. Just go. So the last part ni report and proposal, report and proposal, report and proposal. So I hope hizi zingine zote ushaelewa ni nini. Ukiulizwa unaweza peana hizo characteristic. Tuko pamoja? Yeah? Haya, mimi nishakupatia ile utaulizwa you'll not be able to come up with a good budget for your proposal. So preparation of a good proposal. So those are the 9 parts. Those are the 9 parts of a good proposal. Number 1, you must come up with the statement of a problem. Number 2, you must come up with, yes, literature review, what you want to solve. Number 3, you must come up with, yeah, conceptual framework, then hypothesis question. Then after hypothesis question, you come up with the task or scope. Then to a management plan, we have staffing and institution. Then lastly, we have budget. We have budget. Then preparation of a good proposal. Number 1, a proposal should define a problem. Then employ fact, not opinion. Analyze your plan or project, demonstrating possible outcome. Any discussion of financial or other resources should be conducted carefully. And lastly, be meticulous in writing. Be meticulous in writing. Be meticulous in writing. Then revise necessary to make clear and concise. Revise necessary to make clear and concise. Na hiyo inatufikisha mwisho ya written communication as an entire topic. That brings us the end of written communication as entire topic. Tuko na swali? Tuko na swali? So by now, ukiulizwa the difference between a report and a proposal, this I feel you can be able to answer that very well, okay? The difference between a proposal and a report. 1. Yes, tuanze. This 1. Yes. Alex, one difference between a proposal and a report is? Yes. Yeah, something you intend to do, something you intend to do. Another difference? Yes. And then mfanye research. So let's meet tomorrow, please. Tafadhali mkuje, kuna kati mtapewa mfanye kati.